So the next speaker on the list is Mr. David Coburn for EFDD Group.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, honourable members. Fighting crime is necessary and valuable, but if we stand for the rule of law, we must also say that people's privacy and presumption of innocence are even more valuable. In the UK, you are innocent until proved guilty. In European Bonapartist jurisdictions, you have to prove that you're innocent. This is not justice by British standards. My fear is that over-regulation, the lack of privacy, especially in the field of people's finance, will lead to undesirable outcomes such as lower economic growth or relocation of individuals and corporations to friendlier regulatory regimes. We can, however, fight the grey and black economy by making our regulatory regimes friendlier. If we charge corporate income tax, if we charge the corporate income tax, the dividend tax and VAT, which I remind you is mandated by the EU at the minimum rate of 15%, no wonder many individuals and corporations think they are not getting their tax money's worth. Do you not agree that deregulation and lowering of taxes for society is more beneficial than inventing even more complicated ways of compliance and reporting? I would think that the use of they used to use the word terrorism all the time as a way of looking into these matters, but this is sort of the world of George Orwell. This is a tremendously good excuse to stick your nose into other people's business.
Thank you for your comments. The issue of privacy is a long story in relation to anti-money laundering because it was already the argument maybe of the opponents, especially with regards to the financial institutions, saying that privacy at least was synonymous of banking secrecy. So the argument of privacy was used to avoid to participate in the fight against money laundering because it was a breach of privacy, banking secrecy in relation to the clients. With the international recommendation in 1991, there was a move with regards to that, saying that, of course, there is financial privacy and confidentiality for the client, but with a specific limit, this possibility to report on the basis of suspicion. So I understand it's still a question and a significant issue, the protection of privacy, but it, of course, related to the implementation of anti-money laundering. There was a decision at a specific moment to say there is privacy until a specific moment if it's related to a suspicion of money laundering and terrorist financing, just to have this perspective, but I understand that it's an issue with regards to that, because it's related to the interrelation between surveillance and privacy, of course.
Well, it's a major part of your democratic right to enjoy your money that you work hard to earn to the full. And, you know, it's very easy for bureaucrats to freeze people's money, cause them financial problems. And as I said before, in Bonapartist European jurisdictions, that means you have to prove you're innocent. You know, in UK terms, you are innocent until proven guilty. So in our terms, your system is utterly undemocratic. And this awful business of seizing people's money, if there's a leakage of capital, that's worth it for preserving the liberty and freedom of the individual. That is, without doubt, the most important thing of all. And that's why we're leaving the European Union.
Do you desire to comment on the hard-earned money?
Maybe just a small comment, because there are two issues. There is one issue with regards to blacklist and freezing assets, but the other issue you mentioned is privacy. And basically, with regards to that, we come back to the beginning of the conversation, and I think the Panama Papers Committee, because the main issue with regards to the Panama Papers was to say we are able to follow the money, but not to match this illicit money with a specific identity or name. And if we come back to the idea of banking secrecy and privacy, we cannot basically fight against tax crime. So there is a kind of tautological issue here. If it's not possible to go beyond that and to match identity and information with regards to financial flows, there is no fight against financial crime possible.
Well, let's err on the side of liberty, shall we?